This I have been working on for the past 3 years. You know, the first year I made the wooden hull, I guess, then I forgot about it. The second year I remembered about the first 2 cars and then painted them, and then forgot about it. And then I remembered again and finished them off, detailed it properly with a lot of stuff, and also completed the trailer car. So let's focus on the power cars first. So this is technically an L-set train, but I mean, you can't really have 4-car trains, or at least 4-car trains that'll properly work on pretty much any sort of wooden railway layout. They're just too big. The first one is supposed to be a Gen 2 or 3 combing power car, painted with the L7 side plate livery. I'm not too sure. I just drew a C and then just put random lines down. So I painted the front, and then I went over the yellow with an orange marker to give it the more oranged and faded look that a lot of these had back then. I also put on the desto board at Bondi because my layout is 1, reminiscent of the Sutherland Shire, and 2, I just wanted it on there because it's on my line. The whole desto area was an absolute pain to get realistic. It used to just have, you know, just a big block here for the desto, but then I had to have the whole moulding around it. So I had to put on glue tack around it, sculpt it, and then put tape over the glue tack, making this pretty crappy looking thing, to be honest. I also put tape onto the desto board, but I did stick it down with glue tack. The reason I put tape on the desto board is so that it shines a little bit. Yeah. To the roof, I am yet to put on pantographs onto both of these trains. I used Meme Boy's combing S-set model for trains for reference. It was pretty much the best reference that I could get because you can go 360 around the model, zoom in on anything, you can, you know, load up different textures and all that. It was very helpful. I then got out a pretty watery marker and then, you know, drew here and then used my finger to pull it across towards the front. This gave it a bit of, you know, dirt marks. If you see any sort of electric train from above, you'll know that there's always some sort of grime mark emanating from where the pantographs are. The rear, for some reason, I chopped up a popsicle stick, painted it grey, and then applied it to the back for the gangway. And I only did this for the power car, not the trailer car, because it was kind of a pain. The wheels were actually bought from a website known as woodenrailwayadventures.com. Check them out if you haven't. They make very high quality you know, wooden railway DIY stuff, like these wheels, these full-on bogies. You can buy a pack of these for like $20 that can fit 5 cars. So, you know, I used three of these sets on this S set. I used another a 1 set of them on a low V subway car from New York, and I am planning on using the final one for something that I haven't really decided yet. Maybe a Tulloch trailer, but that would, I'm not too sure at the moment. Now putting on flash, you can see there's a little bit of a white mark, and that was from the plastic kind of flanging in production. This was useful for me because I could actually go over with a brown marker, and like a really watery brown marker, fill it in so it looks like rust is emanating on the bogies. It doesn't really look very good on camera, but in real life it's pretty alright. I used super glue to hold down the little plates, although I am planning to do what Little Shortline does and add on, an undercarriage dome or fuel tank or whatever the heck they are. It's basically the floor of the bottom carriage. I made a mock-up of one using this car out of a moldable rubber, and it looked pretty good, so I'm planning on, carving out some wood, applying it on, and it'll make the train itself look far more realistic in the long term as well. After all that, I just, painted the sides, all of that, drew, blah, 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 blah. And then I sprayed on the wheels WD-40 so that it runs far better. I think I need a respray actually. I also tried to make the set plate look like it's from Flemington, but it's kind of too black, let's say. On to the second one, and this one is specifically designed to be an L set. Reason why? Ding 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 ding. It's there. It's there. So this one is pretty much exactly the same. However, I also molded on a headlamp onto here. So, little known fact about the S sets, well actually not really little known, but they have no proper headlights. All they have is the marker lights. Hence why on the Chopper 2, no, not the Chopper 2, on the, how do I keep on forgetting? I almost said Great Northern Chopper Tour. That isn't even happening anymore. On the S set to the Coast Tour, they had to apply a little headlamp in the cabin window at the door, just so that they could get it outside of Sydney and up to Woy Woy. Was it Gosford? I can't remember honestly. So these sort of, headlamp L sets, you would see these heading around Port Kembla to Ferrol. So that little line, which should be, marked separate on the maps because it's completely detached from all other services. I mean, it just should happen. Problem I had with this one, yeah, that's a big gap. I drilled the hole incorrectly on an angle, so this thing lifts up and in turn has the glue stain the plastic somehow. A lot. I'm planning on, coating that to look like rust. But for the most part, this one runs pretty good. It runs okay. It does look a little bit awkward because of the back wheel. But the front looks okay. And it adds a little bit of, rocking and realism to the train. So yeah. So on the front, I'm currently trying out a cardboard cutout of the running plate, as well as a horn applied to the bogie. This final one I completed like a week ago. It's honestly not the best. The windows and all of that, they could definitely go for some redoing, especially the doors, yuck. But this one definitely has the best bogies. They applied on pretty well, they're sort of aligned. They drip down, they have good slope capabilities. It's a good runner. This coach is actually based off of a city decker liveried Gninen trailer car. So this was Gen 4, which is why the ends look completely different to the power car ends. And if you think that the gangways here have anything to do with that, you're wrong. I just got lazy. I've also noticed that the grime from the pantograph is starting to, wipe itself out. But, it adds some realism. It's like, has a different level of weathering each time that you take it out, which I think is a pretty nice little feature of it. And my model of Sutherland Station fits in pretty well. Overall, I'm very happy with how the custom turned out. And I've also got quite a lot of other Sydney Railway customs, such as this standard red rattler and this CPH rail motor. If you want to see a video on either one of these, comment down below. Actually, there'll be a poll in the premiere of this video. It should be coming up now, if I'm quick enough. So yeah, get voting. It's going to make this scene is going to make 0 sense to anyone watching the video later from the premiere. But yeah, this is what the CPH looks like, just for reference. Okay. And this is what the standard runners looks like. Yeah, I made it out of Unipals, but I used whatever it's called, blue tack, to hold down the paper so I can easily restore it. No damage was done to the original model, which is what I strive for. Okay, voting's done. Yeah. This is griffinrails. Signing off.